Welcome back to Paragon Table Talk, Paragon Physical Medicine out of Worcester, Ohio. And today, we have Dr. Tami Chaffee, and we've been in practice for 32 years. And she really has a great story. Obviously, besides marrying me, but she has a really great story of how she got into chiropractic care. And so let's talk about you. So tell me, how did you get into the chiropractic world? Because you're kind of young.
Well, thanks for having me, first of all. But no, I was probably in high school when I was introduced to the chiropractor in my area. But my parents were patients there because my dad had injured himself. He worked for the airlines. And I remember when I was young, he would come home crawling in the door. His boss would bring him home and he would just lay on the floor for days. And then a little bit older, I remember visiting him in the hospital and he was in traction and it was pretty scary. So after that, he started going to the chiropractor, and all the guys at the airline started going to the chiropractor
wait a minute. What?
too.
How did he hurt himself? He fall out of a plane? I mean, what? How did he
No,
hurt his back?
he loaded airplanes, and so he would have to load probably by himself or with a little help all the luggage, from one place to the other. And they also loaded just huge items like coffins and boxes and different things on there. So
Coffins. Wow. Yeah, they're probably big, heavy. Pinches in there. Yeah. Wow.
And so he, injured himself, and he did not go on disability or quit working. He went to the chiropractor, and so from then on, they were patients, and then I started in junior high. And in junior high, I went in and had x-rays, and I was pretty active, and so, of course, you have issues off and on, but not enough to think that I'm old enough to go to the chiropractor. And so...
Okay, did you really want to go, or did they make you go?
Well, I thought it was interesting, but I didn't know what a chiropractor was.
Okay, you just knew they helped your dad.
Yeah. Because you always hear that, they're quacks, and it's not real, and all of the other scary things that your friends and parents of your friends tell you. But I knew that my dad got better, so I was, interested in learning what they were going to do. And then as I got into junior high and high school, I was in a lot of talent shows and queen contests, and so he actually started driving me in the parades. So I got to know the family really well. The chiropractor did.
The chiropractor drove you in the parade?
He had his sign on the side of the car. So.
Oh, okay.
So he would drive me in the parades, and I started going in more frequently because I thought that family was so much fun. And then in high school, he asked me if I wanted to work there. And I thought, well, that would look good on my resume. I'm not sure what I want to do, but it would look good on my resume. So I started working there, and I think one of the first day or so, I had to help someone get out of their car and practically crawl in the office, and then they were jumping for joy out. And I thought, I want to do this.
Wait a minute, you started working at the chiropractor's office. How old were you?
I think it was 15 because it was before I got my driver's license.
Ride your bike, take a bus.
No, I just got dropped off.
Oh, okay, dropped off at work. Okay. 15, all right.
Probably. And so, and as I grew there, I worked there all through college, and I got to do many of the jobs at that time. Of course, front desk, because that's what, I started at. But then I ended up doing a little bit of the rehab and the physiotherapy modalities, and then I also took x-rays, and I loved working there. And I told him, can I work here forever? Because I love it. And he said, no. And I said,
no.
And I said, why can't I? And he said, why don't you become a chiropractor? And I said, do girls do that? Are girls allowed to do that? And he said, there are many females that are chiropractors. And so that started my journey. And then I went to undergrad to start my chiropractic journey.
Wow. So you were taking x-rays, you were doing some exams, you were doing some physiotherapy, some rehab. You were doing everything but adjusting.
Yes.
And front desk. And some insurance things. Gosh. And back then, how many people were you guys seeing a week or a day, for example? Your busy day. How many people back then? This is the 80s when you're seeing what?
One doctor, probably anywhere from 80 to 120 a day.
Wow.
One doctor. Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So you got to see a really successful practice right out the bat with a great system and great results. But with your dad, that was like pretty miraculous recovery because it kept him out of back surgery.
Right.
And I think, gosh, you think people go to the hospital and lay in bed because their back hurts. And he did. Was he in traction? Was that the
Yeah, he was in traction.
So they put him in the old pulley system or something and japers. Wow, that's crazy. And then he was in there for, I don't know, days?
I think so, yes. Probably a week.
Then you jailbroke him out and took him to the chiropractor. Okay. All right, great. So, so 32 years. That's a long time. Seems like yesterday when we started. And, I think the thing about you is you have such, very compassionate towards your patients. And you love kids. You love babies. You've seen thousands of babies, thousands of kids.
I do love babies.
Yes. And lots of pregnant moms, and we could sit here for days and talk about the amazing stories of moms. And, then about 15 years ago or so, we started the acupuncture program.
Yes.
Spent 2 years in that. And we're doing acupuncture. And even for pregnant moms, so tell everybody about that. What happens there? Somebody comes in, pregnant. Why would you do acupuncture on a pregnant woman?
Well, truthfully, we do acupuncture when they are ready to deliver. So if they are overdue, or if they're ready to deliver, let's say in the next few days or week, then we'll start the labor. So with the acupuncture, you can start labor, get that going. As they are laying there, we put the needles in and stimulate those, and the acupuncture points will actually expand the it will actually start the contractions and possibly even the water breaks.
Yeah, and I think I don't know how many years ago it was, we had a mom was pregnant. You were doing acupuncture and her water broke right on the table.
That's happened a few times.
A few times, yeah. So that's amazing.
Sometimes
And,
from the adjustment as well, they're ready to start labor, and so from the adjustment, the water can break. But usually, never before they're due. So if people are thinking that will cause them to go into premature labor, it doesn't. It's just when their body is ready, everything has gone through its course, they're ready to start labor, then possibly it will start.
So it's kind of like moms who maybe overdue.
Usually the overdue.
Yeah, and then they kind of tell them, oh, you got a cesarean. If you don't have this baby by this day, you're having a cesarean. That's the way it is. We're going to start to induce you, and then some of these moms are more educated. They're like, oh no, we're not doing that, because there's not always good things come out of that. And so then they come in to receive chiropractic care and acupuncture.
So acupuncture even before they are pregnant. So a lot of women have fertility issues, and so we will do a protocol to help them become pregnant, to get their body ready to receive that. But then at the end, when labor wants to start, I have stopped labor before, premature labor, we've stopped that. But most of the time it's to get their body ready for labor.
Yeah, either, like you said, either get them ready to be pregnant, because, gosh, I remember, I can just recall several ladies trying to get pregnant. They spent all the money on the, all the cash on going to these centers where they try to, do that with drugs and things. And then, gosh, we do acupuncture on for 4 or 5 weeks, and bam, suddenly they're pregnant. It's amazing.
Well, it just helps their hormones
Yeah.
regulate.
Yeah, get balanced back to
Ovulate.
her. Yeah. And so we talk about diet too, and which is a huge part of that. Supplements, vitamins, all those things too, which is all, it's all part of the health healing game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, you're seeing right now. You're seeing a lot of babies. You're seeing a lot of people, old people, young people, babies, kids. Okay. So, any favorite stories? Kids that like to come in. You should talk about kids who like come in, actually jump on, the table and all that kind of stuff, which is kind of cool to see.
Well, I do love babies, and so I play with them a lot, so you can't get them off the table half the time when they do come in. But after their turn, they want to keep getting up, on the table when it's their siblings, time. And so there's a lot of playing around and tickling to get them off the table to get the next one on. But they do love getting adjusted. Girls especially just do well with me. Boys do too, but a lot of times boys are a little bit more timid than the girls are. The girls love it. But what's funny about the girls is that they will play chiropractor, and so their moms will take videos of them adjusting.
I love that.
The moms and the dads, and exactly what I do to them, they do. So I love the videos, and I love all of the pictures that they color, and just how much they love coming in.
Yeah, that's true. You think, the 3-year-old's not watching. You're just the other kids, and they're sitting there playing. Oh, they're watching everything. They're recording everything. And then the next time that they come in, the mom will be like, I was laying down, and she's like, Mommy, lay on your back. Now turn your head to your right. Turn your head to your left. Now roll over on your belly. I mean, it's like almost verbatim of what
we say.
What we would say.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy because you think, they're coloring, they're not paying attention. Oh, they're paying attention. They hear everything that is said, and they're watching. And they don't forget. And this little girl today, I haven't seen her a year. She's 4 years old. She fell off the bed on her head and all these things. And her dad said, "Get her up on the table." And she jumped right up there, smiling. She wanted to be just like her dad, and adjusted her and got off, and she's just excited. And don't you find it true that when some of these kids get adjusted, and it's almost immediate, they have a complete change, right? Blood comes back in their face, they get color back in, and don't you agree too that a lot of these kids that come in, you just know they're subluxated because they got the dark circles under the eyes, right? It's called allergic shiners. That's an immune system issue. Their system is suppressed. Their nervous system it's deregulated, it's unregulated, it's shoved down, and that stunts their growth. That stunts every part about them. And as soon as you gently adjust them, whether it's with an instrument or a toggle, it's not always that stuff. It's almost immediate. They just flush out, and their eyes get bright. I mean, it's amazing.
And if they come because of constipation, sometimes just walking in the room will do it. It's kind of interesting that their body knows that they're ready.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So what you're saying is, as soon as they, their body is prepped, not knowing that when they're coming adjusted, even if they're a 2-year-old, they'll fill her diaper before they even get on the table sometimes,
right.
or definitely always after. As soon as you turn on the bowels, boom, they're gone. Mm-hmm. The moms will bring them like, "I've gone to the bathroom 3 days. Here, get adjusted," and then boom, immediately. It's like it's like clockwork. It just happens like every single time. It's amazing. So yeah, well, we got a lot more stories to talk about as time goes on, but everything is said this time. All right. Okay, thanks for joining us, folks, and we'll see you next time at Paragon Table Talk.